Hi, and good afternoon. This is Sherman Crancer. I'm the president of the Crancer Group, and we're very excited to have each and every one of you on this call today. Today, we're going to be doing a free Teams training session for everybody here. We have a mix of partners and we have a mix of end user customers. You can thank your partner, whoever referred you. I know that United Way out of Atlanta probably works with a good friend of ours, and they sent you to this. We're doing this as a way to give back to the community to help them understand how to utilize Microsoft Teams training. So a little bit about my background is, I spent the last 5.5 years at Microsoft, and left there in November, and started my own company called the Crancer Group. And our group does not sell anything direct to customers, so we actually don't have a business that way. What we do is we help with Microsoft partners, helping them spread the message. We do training events for Microsoft partners for their end user customers, and one of the neat things that we do really is provide events similar to this. We are actually truncating our typical engagement. Usually it's in-person training. We're doing this virtually. So what you're going to end up doing after today is you're going to be able to you're going to be able to walk away having a good understanding of how to use Teams in your environment, how to work collaboratively together. So we're going to go over who we are, our experience, what we're providing today, a walkthrough, how we can help your organization, and then we're going to provide a survey. So the Crancer Group, as I mentioned, we are not direct. You have to work through the partner that sent you here just to make sure. And this is a way to give back. Our experience, as I mentioned, we have 3 people on staff that are all what's called CIE facilitators, and we specialize in helping people understand, Microsoft technologies, cloud technologies, as well as Azure technologies, and CRM technologies. So why are we doing this? And I think I kind of started off with the idea behind it. It's really about helping people understand how to utilize software that you probably have today that you're not using, and especially with this whole coronavirus situation, this is going to be really great for you because you'll be able to take this with you. We'll have a recording after the event, and then we'll send you a link so that you can send it to your other colleagues that may have missed this class today. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead. I think everybody's in the environment. We don't need to go to that. All right, and then what we're doing here is we're going to do a walkthrough of Teams. As I worked at Microsoft. There was a specific way that they set up Teams to be able to work together specifically. Teams can be kind of confusing at the start, but we can. What we're going to find is that we're going to be able to really help you foundationally set the practices. Now, what we also want to do is we want to make sure that this is a very interactive type of scenario. Okay, if you have only one screen, I want to just let you know that we're going to be kind of flipping back and forth between the presentation, so we're going to demo it with you. You're going to be the ones actually doing the work. You're going to be the ones that clicking and opening, and then please use the Q&A function. So we really want to start the Q&A function as being really interactive. Want you to ask questions, and if you're lost or you're kind of behind, or you have a question that you feel like you don't want to present to anybody, it's still okay to send it through the Q&A because we monitor that. We only publish the ones that we feel are pertinent. So if it's like a personal, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, or where am I, where are you, and you feel uncomfortable saying that, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and put the Q&A in there. We won't publish that, but we have a team of people that are actually set aside to help you understand how that goes. Okay, so if we could just all go into the Q&A right now and just actually make an announcement and tell us who you signed in as. So just put your first name and then the Q&A put who you are. So like Bill Ray just put in I am Joni, so that's awesome. Okay, Jason Lane says I'm in. So let's go ahead and type into the Q&A function who you are, because it'll help us within this environment to be able to talk to you and give you good. Andres, you can go ahead and share your desktop, and then I'll turn it over to you. That we call him the Wiz, Andres Oseguera. Andres.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I'm glad you were all able to make it. We're excited to be able to share some very nice information in regards to Microsoft Teams and just productivity in general when it comes to working from home. I wanted to go really quick into what we're doing today. It's called the Customer Immersion Experience. It's just a great way for you to get a high-level understanding of how to use a functionality within Microsoft, such as Teams. The reason Microsoft created this in the first place is because of all the new advancements that have been coming out and all the different programs and different tools that they've released. One of them is Teams. So they say that about 5 years ago, we were anywhere between 25 to 30% knowledge in terms of what Microsoft could offer and all the different tools that you're able to use. But because of all the newest advancements that I was just referencing, we're anywhere between 5 to 8%, the typical person. So these customer immersion experiences are just a great way for you to build that foundation of knowledge and be more efficient using Microsoft. So we're excited to be here. And I also want to emphasize that this is supposed to be a hands-on lab where you're doing the work yourself and you're being interactive and you're asking any questions that you have in mind. So what we always like, the way we like to start off and try and bring the energy into the room is maybe let's just share a little bit about our businesses and what's going on right now. So if every person could just put one struggle that they're currently having working from home, or possibly if you already have Teams, any kind of struggle you're having there right now, if somebody could share just so we could just kind of get on the same page and see if we could touch on that today. So please go into the Q&A and just share some struggles that you have working from home.
I would add that I get 168 emails a day, and I think I get a lot of email creep. Creep. That is probably one of the things.
That's one of the things that we hear the most when we do these CIEs. A lot of people are just getting inundated with information. They don't necessarily know how to manage all their time and where to put all their resources. So we'll definitely touch on some things that have to do with email overload.
There's another one that came in, working on documents as a team and people resave them as different documents. Oh my gosh.
Okay. That is definitely one of my favorite tools that Teams is able to help you with. When we dive in a little deeper, you'll actually be able to see that you can actually all do it remotely together. And you're able to see all the different adjustments that everyone is doing to the document. You can see who's working on it with you. Very, very cool. So we'll definitely touch on that. Maybe one more, if we have one more, Sherman.
Keeping remote users engaged.
Okay, so that is definitely one of the things that we're going to try and even cover on this CIE itself. That'll make sure we have everybody have the energy to know that everybody is involved in what's going on. In terms of remote use, Microsoft is a platform where there's a lot of different tools available across the spectrum of your business. So in terms of engagement, it's very easy for you to stay on Teams for the entire business day. That's what it was designed to be. And we'll get into that right now. So why doesn't everybody, if you guys should be able to see what I'm seeing here, it's your own basically web browser. And you should have Microsoft Teams here on the left-hand side. Could everybody please double-click and open it up for me? This way we're all getting going. And while it's opening up, we'll kind of talk about why Teams was created in the first place, going off of the recent thing that was just said. It's an innovation that Microsoft came up with because with everything going on currently, there's so many different ways and so many different things that you have to do within just your individual business, that people are going from different application to different application, back and forth. And Microsoft just kind of noticed this, and they want it to be as effective and efficient as possible. So Teams is I almost like to think of Teams as a platform. It has a lot of different capabilities. And when I describe it to people in a very high level way, I tell them that it's a combination of 4 apps. So Slack became very popular, especially within the college community within the last few years. It's similar to that. It has a call functionality, so it's like your on-premises phone system. It's like a Dropbox because you're able to store a bunch of different files. And it's also kind of like Skype because you can have video calls kind of like we're having today. So there's a lot of different functionality, like I said, a lot of different tools, and we'll get into that today. First thing we want to do, if you can see, it just kind of looks weird here. So why don't we go ahead, if you go to your icon where your face is at, I have my cursor right here. If you click on that and you zoom this a little bit, let's see if we can zoom this. Actually, you know what? This is...
Just maximize yours, actually.
Maximize the fit. And this right here, right?
And the box on the top right-hand corner next to your, there you go.
There we go. Okay. So I hope everybody can see this now. Looks a little cleaner. Everybody can take a look. So if you take a look at Teams, the first thing you see, right, we always like to explain the sidebar right here, because this is really where you have all the major functions for Teams. This at the top is activity. This is one of the most important tools just because it gives you an update on everything that's going on. So can everybody please press activity for me? Okay, so I'm assuming everybody's on activity. The reason it's important, like I said, is everything that happens to you gets populated here. So we always like to say, if you get mentioned in a chat, if you get shared on a document, you get added to a team, you get added to a meeting, all of those notifications are going to come up right here in the activity section. So a good practice is that every time you log on to Teams, the first thing you want to do is you want to check the activity. You want to see if any kind of action or interaction has happened that corresponds to you. It's kind of like when you wake up, first thing you do is check your email. It's a similar way because it gives you a notification on anything that's going on. The next thing here we have is chat. Can everybody please press chat for me?
Actually, Andres, let's go back to the activity for just a second. What is your, just to show people who they are, that picture will show you who you are. Andres, who are you in this?
I am
Diego?
Yeah, I'm Diego.
Okay, I'm going to send you a message. Okay. Send me TPS report. Okay. So I'm going to send you a message, and then click on your activity again, and then click on that. And as you can see in here, so this was a message directly to him, right? And it's actually popped up in my activity. So anything you ever get mentioned at or wherever, that's where it's going to go. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Hey, Andres, also the upper right corner by the face is a way to zoom in on the font size if you want. Yeah,
you can change any of the settings that you have available here in your account. You can change them here with settings, keyboard, all the different stuff. But this is where I get to is activity. This is where you're going to get all the notifications that are going to happen within your business. So it's important to check that every single day. What me and Sherman just did right now was a chat function. It's probably one of the most important functions within Teams. One of the main reasons is because Teams was created for a way to really bring down your email capacity and everything that you're getting contacted from a bunch of different people. Have you ever had, the group email where someone replies all, and it's a conversation between two people, and now you've got, like 10 new messages, right? It just creates this overload that is not efficient, and it doesn't help you focus on what really matters. So this is why chat is really cool. You can actually chat with anybody who's within your organization. So if you look right here in the square where it says new chat, can everybody go ahead and click that for me? So you see it created a new chat. Here you can either enter a name, an email, a group, and here's where you type the message. So how about everybody go ahead and add a couple people to a chat message here. So I'm gonna add Pradeep. Let's add, you can actually, let me show you guys a cool feature. If you guys just put the @ function, it'll actually give you the entire list of people that you can add. Makes it a lot easier. Does that make sense? So everybody add. I'll add a couple people. Let's add one more. Who else is here? Let's see. Hopefully Patty is here. And I'll say, hello, everyone. Can I borrow some hand sanitizer?
That's a very good one there, Andres. And we had somebody who just joined, and if you just joined, make sure that you've launched your persona, and then when you get your link, click on Teams, and this is where we're at.
I also want to point out really quick while we're looking at these messages. If you look behind everybody's, or right next to the left of everybody's name, you see Nestor, Patty, and Pradeep. What's really cool about Teams is that it gives you an update on everybody who either you're chatting with or you just have on your team. So if you look at the green circle, it's telling me that it's available, right? So Pradeep is available, Patty is available, and Nestor is available. And what that means is that they're on Teams at the current moment and they're using Teams. If you go up here, you can either be available, you can be busy, and you can be on Do Not Disturb. And it's really efficient because it gives you a way to know whether or not whoever you're messaging or trying to contact is actually going to be able to reach you back. So that's something I really want to show. The other thing is within chat, right, and say hello, whatever you want to put, you can have chat, but there's also so much more functionality that you have available here at the bottom. So you can actually do real text here. You can add files, extremely importantly. So I can upload a file. Let's see if I can have something here. Look at what we have in my OneDrive. No, nothing in my OneDrive. Okay, documents, desktop downloads, pictures. Wow, they don't have anything here. That didn't work out the way I planned. But the point is, say I had any kind of file, right? I would be able to add it in, and that file would get sent to everyone in this group. You would have access to that file within this chat, and instead of going back and forth over email, you can actually edit that document within this chat function as well. Very cool. Another thing, an emoji. How about everybody send an emoji to somebody?
Yeah, let's go ahead and send an emoji. And Patty and Pradeep, respond to that text or that IM that was recently sent your way.
Hey, Nestor. There we go. Very cool stuff. I personally never use emojis or GIFs, but some people like to do it just for fun, so I understand. Okay, perfect. Another cool feature, you can actually add a meeting and it will automatically add whoever is in the chat. So directly from that chat function, if you're looking at the screen, right there on the bottom row, there's an option. And let's just create this Teams overview. And now I'm able to actually schedule a meeting with everyone within this group automatically. Look at that. That's good technique.
That's awesome.
Okay, thank you everyone for messaging back. Very cool. Okay, so that's an overview of chat. I don't know if you have anything else to share, Sherman, on that specifically. You can actually make a call from here as well. That's another cool feature.
Yeah. So I think on the chats, the other thing too is on the top right-hand corner, you're going to see there's a call function. You could actually, from this, you could call all three people at once. Cancel on that, yeah, and then exit that. There you go. That will actually call everybody on the chat. It'll be bringing those people in. So go ahead and hang up that one. That's fine. But sometimes when you're in an environment where you're talking to some people and you guys are kind of IMing each other back and forth, sometimes no, let's just jump on a call. Let's jump on a call, right? And you can do it from there. Let's see. The last thing is, I think you covered everything else.
The chat function is just a very efficient way to communicate. It's just faster than sending an email and tagging a million people. So definitely something that
Can you show where to start a chat? Like where do
Yeah.
they like new one? Okay. All right next to the search bar. Okay, great.
Right here. Perfect. Okay, so let's keep going then on this left-hand side. Teams. This is what it solves, Teams. So this is a very important feature, probably the most important because it's got the most dense information. It's really the foundation of what this application is for. You can see right here on my left-hand side, you have the different teams that we've created within this Contoso environment. We have the Market Project team, the Digital Initiative, Public Relations. Hey, Joni, looks like she just said something here in the Digital Initiatives. Sales and Marketing, Contoso. So these are the different teams that are created. We always like to say is when you first create, or when you first open up Teams, you want to create a team that has all of your employees within the same team. So it's just like a company-wide team, so that everyone has a way to communicate. So with us, for example, I know Mark 8 project, everyone is in this one. And what we're able to do is it just creates a way for all of us to have access to one another. So I can create here, I can ask who is in charge of the marketing report, right? And I can ask them. If I knew who was in charge of the marketing report, let's say I knew Nestor, I need it on my desk by 2 p.m. So it's just a way for everyone to stay on the same page. You can communicate, and everyone who is in that team can actually see these messages getting put there. Within an actual team, you can actually create different channels. So if you look at the Mark 8 project team, hey John, you have general, you have the design, the digital assets web, the go-to-market plan, research and development. So typically we say the first one is everyone from your business, and then you can actually create different channels for different departments within your business. So if this market project team instead was called, the Crancer group, we could have marketing, we could have sales, we could have HR. And what you want to do is you want to make it so that only the people on the design team right here have access to this channel. So because you're in a team, it doesn't mean you're going to have access to all the channels. You can actually create private channels so that they're the only ones that have access. And why is this useful, right? I mean, why you want to go through this whole headache of creating this whole thing? The reason is because you want to have a place where you can find your information. You want to have a location where, okay, the marketing report is going to be within the marketing channel. It just makes it more simple to find stuff, and it just creates a more efficient business. So why don't we go a little bit more? Go ahead, sure.
One thing I'd like to add, if you don't mind, Andres, is thinking conceptually about the team's environment. Your very first team. We're going to show you how to create teams and show you the foundational piece of it. But your first team is the company-wide team. Okay, that's the idea. It's a company team, and then you have your departments. Then you can have actually other teams called, like for different projects, like this Mark 8 project that they have listed here, right? And another way of looking at it, you can do like company-wide party, right? Well, then you need like 10 people in your organization to work on that party. You'd create a team for that company-wide party. Then you delete the team afterwards, to not have to work on it. But that's specifically where all the files are going to be going to, so you can share seamlessly between each other. So that's like foundational aspects. And what Andres is talking about, in the very beginning, is company first, and then you have your different channels inside of that. So there's a team and a channel. And I just want to pause real quick. I want to see if the concept of building a team and then what the channels are is clear. And please just put it into the live Q&A if you feel like you understand it, or would you like us to re-explain that to you? So just go to the Q&A function inside of the live event, and you can put in there if you feel good about the explanation of what a team is and what a channel is. And then there's a cat that says nah. All right.
Okay.
We'll take that as a yes. Okay. Oh, Holly said yes. She understands. Perfect. Jeff said good. Okay, great. Let's move on.
Okay, happy to hear. I also wanted to get into, what the power of this team could do. So you saw the post here. You saw how you can communicate and everyone's involved in the team. And I started mentioning, files. So why don't we go ahead and we'll click on the files. Talking about document sharing. Actually, let's find one that actually has files in here. Okay. So if everyone could go to the Digital Initiatives Public Relations team. If you actually go to the Files section, I wanted to show how you're able to work together. So say this team was created specifically for that public relations, and you only wanted public relations people involved. Okay, perfect. So now they're all involved. They've all been invited to the team, and they all have access to this file section. Everybody go ahead and go to Files and open up the press release. I'll give you guys a few seconds to get there. So what's actually going to happen is once everybody logs in to this file, I'm going to be able to see them right here. You see them populating. Joni is here, Nestor's here, and they have this document open. And this is actually real-time edits that I can make. We can actually even have a conversation. I could go, I could say, at Nestor, do you like my edit? And he can actually look at that, see what I'm looking at, and give his opinion on that. We can be working on these simultaneously and see the different works that we're adding in. You see the great tiger, very necessary. And right here, it's showing you that we have all these different people, where they're at on the document and what they're doing. Very effective, very efficient, and it's an auto-save function as well. So, oops, I accidentally pressed X and I closed it. Oh no, well, it's okay because it's automatically saved and it's automatic. The version history is saved here on this file. So if you were to download that document and have it on your desktop and working on it, it wouldn't save. But if you work within Teams, it's going to automatically save that information. So it's just very, very, very cool tool.
So Andres, go over. Let's go back to kind of the methodology of finding this file, right? And how you would express somebody to get to this file.
Okay, perfect. So what I was talking about earlier was we want to make it easy to find different files or different data. So if I knew that we're working on a press release that had to do with public relations, right? I would know that, okay, it's going to be in the public relations team. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to the general tab. Once I'm here in the general tab, I can go to files. And here you can see the different files that are located within that team. Different teams are going to have different amounts of files. They're going to have different folders. Here you can actually create where it says new, right? I can create a Word document, an Excel document, PowerPoint, OneNote, or Forms, all within this team. So why don't we go ahead? I can create a Word document. I could say Teams Training. I'll create it. And now if all of you actually go straight to the file section again and you click on this document, you can edit it yourselves. So was everyone able to find this document so that you can see where it's at? Let me exit out so you can see it.
Yeah, now
right here.
See it. I think, yeah.
Files,
I think you have to exit out and then we can click into it.
Perfect. Okay, you see everyone's coming on. So this is a collaboration tool that you can use within Teams. I think it's the most effective way to work together, to share information, and just to make sure that you're not sending 100 emails back and forth with 2 sentences change in between each file. So that's the power of what Teams can do for you. If you guys are actually looking, I actually got an activity notification. Very cool. I can favorite this message, whatever I like. Okay, so why don't we go into creating your own team and making sure that we set the team up foundationally for success. So if everybody could exit back out of that document, please. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to get there. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to create our own team. So I'll just give you guys a few seconds. And again, if you guys have any questions, if I'm going too fast, please use the Q&A function on the live event so that we have Sherman that can answer any questions that you guys might have. So I'm assuming everybody's pretty close to here. If we look here where it says teams and it lists all of your different teams that you have available to you, at the very bottom it says join or create a team. So everybody go ahead and press that. And there's two ways of creating a team. If it's a private team that someone else created, they'll actually give you a code and you'll be able to enter this code here and then you'll join the team. That being said, if you're creating the team from scratch, just go ahead and press create team. Build a team from scratch. And now we have an option of either creating a private team or a public team. I want to make this very clear because I know when I first saw this, I was a little confused because I thought, oh, Microsoft's secure, how can it be public? Well, what they mean by public doesn't mean that anyone on the street can get access to this team. It's very secure and you can only get in if you get invited. What public means is that anyone in your organization has the ability to see the team and join the team. Private means that, go ahead, Sherman.
No. You finish that and then there's a question that came up.
Okay. So public, anyone in your organization can see the team and join. If it's private, say you wanted to create a marketing team, you can create a private team and then you personally only invite those that are within marketing. So why don't we go ahead and create a public team and then I'll just create my team. You guys can give it whatever name you want. I'm going to call mine Teams Training. And I'm going to create that.
So there's a question that came up. It says, I have a question about, and this comes from Rick, about adding a channel to a team that by default, they show up as hidden. Is there a way to avoid that when creating a team or a channel? Now, it all depends if you create it as a private team, because that will automatically be hidden, because only people that you invite can actually see it. If it's public, then anybody can see it. So that's kind of the thing. And then there's some back-end stuff behind the scenes on the admin portal that you can kind of work around some of those ideas.
Perfect. So I accidentally pressed away from when you can actually add the members initially. If you're still seeing that page, go ahead and add whoever you want right from there. If you exit out like I did on accident, you can actually go to the ellipses right here to the right of your team. And it says add member, and it takes you here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add pretty much whoever I feel like. Patty's my friend. Deborah. Dad. Nestor. Pradeep. The point here is it's just showing you that you have the ability to add whoever you like, whoever you want. And you can actually either make them a member or you can make somebody an owner. And what that does is it just gives them the ability to change settings within the team and, add and remove members. So now that I'll give you guys a couple seconds actually to finish. Go ahead and add whoever you like to the team and make sure that it's set up and good to go. All right, so if you actually look right here, Megan actually added me to her Teams training teams. Very nice, I appreciate it. Very cool.
So that's
and
a
right
notification. That's a notification that you got, right? After you got added to the actual team. So anybody who gets added to a team gets a notification, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And right here, it shows up in your activity as well. So that's why checking activities is a good idea. All right, so why don't we get back to, so open up your own team. I see 2 teams right now so far, so maybe I'll give you guys a couple more seconds. Any more questions, Sherman? I don't want to go too fast.
Yeah, no, we haven't had any new questions. So, oh, there's a cool one. Best practices, general. So that came up. Baldies, Teams training teams, home study teams. That's excellent. Hand sanitizer team, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna assume everybody's got it. We'll keep going. So go ahead and go into the team that you created, into the general tab. So if you look at the top right here, you can see posts, right? That's where I said you can message anybody you want on your team. But in addition, you can also add different tabs here at the top. Thank you, Joanna. Baldies. I still have hair. You can add different things here at the top to set up your team and make sure that you're communicating together and you're just doing your work effectively. There's two specific things that we always say you need to have to foundation set up your team that we've used within our work, and we'll share those right now. There's a couple others that we enjoy as well. So again, here's the post. We have the file section. It's empty right now because we don't have anything. This wiki, to this day, we have not been able to figure it out. We don't really see the value of it. I always delete it personally. We don't use it. So if you can find a really good use for it, please let us know. But I always remove it. And then right here, the plus sign is the most important piece right here. You see the plus on the top tab. This is where you can actually add all of the apps that you want to use. So remember when I was just saying that Teams was meant to be a platform, and this is part of the reason I call it a platform is because you can add and weave in a bunch of different applications within it. So one of the most important ones that we always add first is Planner. I'm not sure if anyone else has used Planner before, but we've been able to use Planner very effectively and very efficiently within our business. So when we put Planner, we go ahead and we want to name it Planner so that you don't get confused and you know exactly what it is. So everybody go ahead and add Planner into their team, please. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. And why don't I go, I'll explain a little bit about why we like Planner in the first place. It's a way to also bring down a lot of the email exchanges that employees will have amongst each other. So I know within our business and a lot of other businesses, the reason we send emails typically is because we need somebody to complete a task for us, maybe look over a document for us, give us some feedback, whatever it might be. But typically it's because they need to ask a favor or a task for us to do. And what Planner does is it makes it very efficient for you and the other person to know exactly what they need you to do and how long you have to complete it. So why don't we say, let's say I have to finish the marketing report. So finish marketing reports. And if you remember earlier, I just threw out Nestor, right? So that was he's the marketing whiz. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna assign this to Nestor. And I actually need these done by the end of this week. So I'm gonna put Friday. And as soon as I add this task, Nestor's gonna get a notification right here in their activity that I added a task for them to complete within the planner. And it's gonna show them, okay, they need to finish these marketing reports and it's due by the 27th. We always like to open it up too so that you can see a little more detailed information in terms of exactly what you wanna do here. So this is a to-do, right? We can actually put a priority in how important this is. If this is extremely urgent, let's make it extremely urgent, and that's gonna notify them as well. Nestor can come here and he can kind of tell me where he's at. Maybe he started already, so he's in progress. And I can add notes. Maybe I need it to be a marketing report specifically for the Orange County area. Orange County efforts. What are we doing in Orange County to grow our business? Let me put that in the note. And the checklist is cool because it can give you multiple things to do within that task. So maybe within that marketing report, I need the total addressable market within Irvine. So I need those figures. Okay. I need to know what is our budget. And I also need to know who will be delivering the key strategy. So who's going to be in charge, who's going to be heading in, who's going to be making it all sing. So I hope that makes sense in terms of why Planner is very useful. You can even put colors here. So maybe you can decide within your company that green means it has to do with you making money. So we're going to put green here so that they know it's important. So I hope that adds some information. Maybe Sherman, if you have anything else to add about how this is useful.
So one of the other things that I'd like to add here is the reason why we love Planner so much is it will track you down. It will send you emails saying you have late Planner tasks. It'll send you notifications just on your Windows desktop. If it's Windows notification, you have late Planner tasks. It'll notify you inside of Teams, inside of your activity. And it's just a great way to have accountability. But also, I think Planner is the way that you reduce your email significantly. Because a lot of these things that you have, a lot of times people are sending quick emails saying, hey, did you get this? Hey, did you get that? Or, hey, where is this? Hey, where is that? Well, instead of doing that, you assign a task inside of Planner, and then you can ensure that there's accountability behind it, right? Another way that we use Planner is actually within the partner base that we work with. So our customers are Microsoft partners, right? We actually ask them to try to refrain from sending emails to us, but instead send a task, send a request for something, or send an instant message so that we can go ahead and just answer it inside of the Teams, because we always get those notifications, right? But it's really a great way to change the way you're doing business. And inside of that, people are, instead of just always checking emails and then Teams, it's kind of shaping, the way that you're doing business today. Right, it's the new way of doing it. Plus the accountability factor, I just absolutely love. And then why don't you talk about adding buckets?
I was going to say you can add a bucket. So the way that we actually do it within our business is we actually have a process that we have to complete that has to do with weeks. So you can add a week 1 list, right? And then we could add a week 2 list that we have to complete. And within all of these different buckets, we can add different tasks to complete so that we know that we're done. So why doesn't everybody go ahead and create one task for somebody? Or how about this? You tag me so that I know you guys were able to do it. Tag Diego. Give me a task, everybody, so you guys can get some exposure to doing this yourselves. And I'll get notifications as soon as these populate right here.
Okay, let me go ahead and give a task. And you're in, what is your team? You're in Teams Training?
Yeah.
You didn't invite me to that one, so.
That's awkward.
That's okay.
There we go. Test task. Thank you very much. Beer drinking schedule. I love it. 6 feet, yes? Social distancing. I like it.
Social distancing. Yeah. There you go. It
also sends you a chat. You see how this just follows you everywhere, you guys? And I also got an activity notification. Oh, Corona Task Force. I got added. Thank you, Nestor. Much appreciated. So you guys can see it's very useful. We love it. Makes our life easier. Home study team. Nice. Thank you guys for doing it. I appreciate it. Okay, looks like we're doing pretty well there. The other one, let me get back to the team. The other very, very crucial element that we always like to add here at the top with the plus sign is OneNote. So you guys might have more exposure to OneNote. And what it really is Bill Ray is actually on the call. He actually helped me really explain this as a digital 3-ring binder. I love that explanation. And the reason for that is because it's a great way for you to organize the notes that you're taking within your business. So why is it a 3-ring binder? Because you can actually have it sectioned off. So if you go right here and you actually add it, it should take you here where it says your notebook is empty. And in the top left, you can open that note navigation panel, and you can create a section. So for example, within our business, we have some onboarding calls and we have some prospecting calls, right? So what you're able to do here within OneNote is all the onboarding calls, we can create notes for these different people. So let's say Gorilla Industries, they're a prospect, we're onboarding them. And now all the different meeting notes that I want to take, I can have them here available. It's also a very good search functionality within OneNote. It's very easy to find information. And like I said, again, here, you can also create the different notes that you want to take. You can incorporate this in many different ways, however you want to do it. I'm just giving you an example of what we've done. It's a great tool. I'm not sure if you have anything else there, Sherman, that you wanted to share.
Well, yeah, I think you know, I know there's some folks here from the United Way, you know, that are on here, and I think, you know, let's say you're creating an initiative, so create a Teams for that particular initiative, and now everybody in that Teams, and let's say you're doing you know, you're doing some meetings, you know, about that particular initiative, you would use that OneNote to take all of your notes. And the really cool thing is that now it's all in one place. So you can, you know, you're not worried like who took the notes and where are the notes, or if you're taking meeting notes during an actual event, you actually now have one place. So it's always going to be in this channel inside of the Teams. You can always reference it. It just becomes so much easier to find stuff and to look for things. You're not saving it in 14 different areas, right? You're using the OneNote as, you know, one of the best tools out there, and it really is. And also the search functionality, you know, inside of OneNote, if you search for something, it's going to search all of the text. It's going to search all of the attachments for that word, and it'll also search pictures that may have that word in it, and give you that opportunity to find it. It's probably 50 times better than the Outlook search function. You can never just, you know, that thing just never really works. You can't seem to find very much things in Outlook. But this is really a wonderful tool to use. And just like Andres was saying, it's a 3-ring binder, you know, but digital. And put in one place. So, all right, so I'll go ahead and put it back to you, bud.
Yes, another very cool feature or application that we like to add in is right here. If you add the plus again, you can actually add your own company website here as well. You have to use the entire URL. So if you want to kind of cheat the system a little bit, right? So say I want to put the Crancer group. I do this. I get this. I go here, and then I copy and paste this link. I don't want to paste the whole HTTP. Oh no, it's not working. Okay, let's try this again.
No, you have to search inside of the RDP thing. That's why you can't do it.
Okay.
Just type in HTTPS. You'd have to open the browser inside of the virtual, not your current browser.
All right, that should work. Okay, and now you can actually have access to your website within Teams. So again, what could this be useful for? Maybe you wanted to put like your SharePoint on here so you could find some more information or some more files that you don't have access to that are within here within Teams. But the point is, like I said, to be the platform where you don't have to be going from app to app in different locations to find the information that you need. Microsoft wanted to make it easy so that you can actually run your entire day of business from just this one application. Those are the three that really say are important for setting your team foundationally. Another one that I think is really cool is called Stream right here. So this is essentially, Sherman explains it as your own company's YouTube website. So for example, today we're doing this live event and it's going to produce a recording, and that recording is going to be sent to our stream. And what you'd be able to do is you could actually add this tab here up top, Stream, and you'd be able to access all the different files that maybe you recorded some meetings with some clients and you wanted to re-listen to it, to see if you missed something, or just to review some information, you can actually go here, click on that stream, and listen to it straight from Teams. So again, ease of access, accessibility, and it just gives you a way to work together on this one application.
So
that's
if we go back to that website idea, I just want to touch on one thing on that. So this company website, but most of the time, each of you have an actual intranet, right? That your employees need to go to from time to time, right? To visit HR, to do whatever they're doing. That's what I think is probably the best one to put in there. So this was our site, but that's the best one to put in there is your intranet. So this way, we're keeping people inside of one tool, right? And keeping the idea inside of one tool, just like Andres was saying. But yeah, the intranet, having that there so they can just click through. And you can do multiple websites. You can do multiple, so you could have 3 different websites that are there if you wanted to. You just have to name them differently, right? So you can click on that. And you can add a lot of different apps that are out there. Let's pause to see if anyone has any questions. Please go to the Q&A and populate them. We'd be happy to share our knowledge on that. Okay, no questions so far, no problem. I'll hand it back over to the great, to the whiz.
Thank you. So let's just keep going down. On the left-hand side, now we can actually get to calendar. So let me just answer a question that we had in one of the last sessions that we had. What does this calendar have to do with the calendar I have in my Outlook? So this is going to be synced completely with your Outlook. There's different functionality in the sense that you can do live events that we're doing right now. We can do a Meet Now function, but you can also create team meetings from Outlook as well. So they're both interconnected. It just really depends on what you want to do. What's something really cool, you can actually, highlight a section here. So let's say we want an hour-long meeting, and now it automatically gives you that hour. You can add a title to it. So the Teams Training 2. And you can add the required attendees that you need for this meeting. Like I said, you just put the @ and then you can add whoever you need. So maybe I can add Patty, I can add Isaiah, I can add Alex, whoever's you need to get to this meeting, you can add them. And then you just press send, and boom. Another cool feature is you can actually use a scheduling assistant up here at top, and it's going to tell you what it looks like for the people you're invited to this meeting. Are they going to be free? Are they available? Are they going to have some difficulty making it because they have other things scheduled? It just makes it easier for you to make sure that people who you want to come to the meeting are able to get there. If you wanted to, instead of doing that and scheduling it maybe for a Wednesday or Thursday, maybe you just want to meet with them right now, you can actually use the Meet Now function. Right, so meeting, you could just say meeting. And then you can, because we're in the RDP link, we can't use it, but you would be able to use your camera, your audio settings, and you would also be able to blur your background as well if you have some different things behind you that you don't want to show. And you would join now. And then here on the right-hand side, you can invite somebody. So maybe I wanted to speak with Nestor. And now it's going to dial him.
Yeah, so Nestor, right now. When you see that, click on the thing, and it might come up with a firewall thing. Just to cancel that message, and then it'll allow you to actually accept the call, and then you can show that you're both in. So when you click on answer the call, it'll have a message,
Well, some of the functionality in Microsoft Teams is telling me that he's not going to answer, because if you look right here, it actually says he's away. So he's not currently,
okay.
He's not in the team, so he's not going to answer me. So why don't we try somebody else? Let's try
Bowen. Try Megan Bowen.
Megan Bowen. All right, let's try Megan. All right. Let's give her a ring.
Okay, hold on.
Boom. And so now I can actually talk to Megan, interact with her. I would be able to share video, talk to her. I could even share my screen like I'm doing with you all today. And like I said, we can also continue to add more people if we wanted to. there's actually a way you can actually share this link to people outside of your organization. You can copy this and give them the link, and they'll be able to join as well. So cool stuff. Just an easy way to interact with each other and communicate.
So you can use the meeting chat, that one that I just put up there was inside of this meeting between the two of us. We can actually talk back and forth, for some reason. And this actually is really good when people can't figure out how to turn on or off their microphone. Just a bad practice.
You're right.
Like, I can't hear you.
The other thing I wanted to show here, if you go to this ellipses, more actions, you can record it from right here. And you could turn on live captions as well, which is extremely cool. The other thing about recordings, when it gets sent to your stream, you can actually translate that. Maybe you have a client in Mexico, for example. It'll change that into Spanish, and they'll be able to listen to it with captions in Spanish. Is it 168 languages, Sherman? Is that right?
Yeah, it's 168 languages. And if you do a live event, like what we're doing now, you can actually select 6 different languages. So if somebody from Mexico got into this event that we're doing right now, they would sign in and say preferred language. They put Spanish. And with the AI technology in Microsoft, it'll automatically instantly translate the voice as well as put in captions. It's really amazing, just like holy Moses. So, but yeah, you can translate it into 168 different languages.
It's just really cool stuff, really cool stuff. So let me go ahead and get out of this call. The last thing you can actually do here within the calendar if you're creating a meeting is a live event. So I'm gonna go back to my team so you guys can see what a live event looks like. So you guys can see this now, right? Pretty sure. So this is what it would actually look like if you're creating a live event. You can see Sherman right here waving. What's going to happen is you're going to have presenters and you're going to have producers and you're going to have content. So what Sherman just did right now is he just sent me my face live straight to the live event. We could send Richard. Let's give Richard some love. Let's send Richard live. So if you're the producer here, you can actually see Richard now and you can say that content. Why is this important? If you're doing a presentation, you could have, for example, a PowerPoint here, and you can send that live. You can have a bunch of different things you can do. So great feature, great functionality. You can invite people outside of your organization as well. And it just gives like a communication and access to information. So on top of that, the live event is really based on something that, so as you can see on the bottom of that system tray, you see all of us, like we're on camera, right? So we can actually click back and forth. So you can bring anybody from anywhere in the world that gets into that link, you can bring them in and create a really great live event. Secondly, up to 10,000 people can join a live event. So there's no maximum for that. And every single person that has Teams enabled with PSTN calling, there's a calling functionality portion of it, will have their own actual link that they can create and send out to people to create meetings with them. So they'll have their own, 800 number, they'll have their own, login number. They're able to then create it. It's much more efficient and reduces the cost of having, go to webinar, go to meeting, that type of scenario. There's just a lot of different functionality. Maybe you need to have a company-wide event. You got 1,000 employees. Great way to communicate. We love live events here at the Crancer Group. And the last thing here I wanted to show you guys is the call feature. So the reason this is important is because Microsoft is really leading the way right now in this space. They're really injecting a lot of money and a lot of dedication to try and taking over the phone feature that a lot of people have within their businesses. So to give you an example, you can actually, if you download the Teams app and you pay for the extra service, you can actually have an additional line. You can get your own phone number through the Teams app, and you can actually dial and call whoever you need. I believe it's $13 additionally per user, and it's going to allow you to get rid of all the different telecom expenses that you have with the actual phones that you'd be using, the maintenance fees you have. You wouldn't have to buy the hardware. It would just be through your laptop, through your computer, and through your phone, and you would have a whole new different way of communicating. Sherman, you're a little better at explaining that value, so I was hoping you could touch on that a little bit as well.
Yeah. So, one of the things that people kind of think about is, well, I don't know if that this is going to work in my organization. It's too large. And what I'd like to tell people is that in Microsoft, when I was working there, there's 168,000 employees, and no one has a desk phone. They actually use Teams. They have the dial pad that's in the calling section, and they have the app on the phone. So literally anywhere you are, even if you don't have a laptop, you still have your phone, right? And you can actually make all of your calls through your phone. And the other thing too is on the cost factor. They're combining the software that you're getting, that you're paying for, and the calling, right? For one specific cost, which is significantly cheaper if you were to buy the software by itself and then also buy Ring Central or something else. It's like double the cost if you go that way. So you just want to kind of think about that. It's not daunting, and if you have a big organization that has a lot of what's called DIDs, like individual phone numbers, not a problem. You can actually do that. The only thing that Teams does not work well in is a call center environment. So that's, you got to be a little bit careful of understanding that. But then if you also look at the screen where Andres was at the Teams site, you can actually call people directly from there. So as you can see here, you can literally just call right directly. So they're calling Alan DeYoung right now, right? So you can do that. It's just pretty neat to be able to go back and forth to your folks. Andres?
Yeah, great. It's just a great way to, like I said, and I've been saying this over and over. I hope you're not getting too tired of it. You don't have to leave Teams to work on your business. It's a platform that really gives you a lot of different tools that you can use, and one of them is going to be an additional phone number as well if you so choose. The other thing I wanted to touch on really quick before we get done here is, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to log in here. No, it's not going to let me. But if you actually were to open up a different browser once you actually have your team set up, you can go to office.com and you can get into your team through there as well. You can get into your Outlook through there. All of that stuff can still be online and you'll still have access. And it looks exactly the same as you see it here today. So there's no change in between the desktop app, the online version, and your web and your mobile version. They all look exactly the same. They have the same functionality. And that's why it's really easy to be able to essentially take your business on the go. You can use your phone when you're away from your computer, and when you're at a computer, you can use your phone. So for the most part, that's the majority of things I wanted to cover today. I wanted to open up to questions for a few minutes. If anybody has anything, or if I skipped over something too fast, if they need me to explain anything, please feel free to add something in the chat. While you're doing that, maybe Sherman, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to touch on before we finish up today.
Yeah, so we had two questions, and I'll answer the first one, and then I'm gonna. The first one was, where is the language translator on live? And then the second question is, can you go over the live feature again? So the first question, so for John, that when you set up the live event, and we'll actually do that. Let's create a new live event, because it's in the in the settings function. So when we go to a new meeting, you'll click on live event, okay? And when that comes up, you're going to name the event. So it's going to be on the title section. So Teams, okay, great. Hold on, scroll up a little bit. And then you have on the right-hand side, you see it says Diego is the producer. Okay, he's going to want to invite people who are presenters. So the producer is the person who controls what's being outputted, so what you're seeing. So as you've noticed, I've been flipping back and forth, going left and right, and showing different viewpoints. I'm the producer of this this scenario. So add Megan Bowen in there. Put add Megan.
I don't know why it's not populating.
Okay, well, we can leave that alone for right now, but you typically add somebody and they would become a presenter or a producer. Okay, now go next. Now, this is important. When you turn on the back end, you can make it public, and that means that people like yourselves who are joining today can actually get into it. Okay, that's important. So we'll just do org wide, then scroll down. Oh, no, don't do that. Go back to it. Okay, go click on your live meeting you just created.
Okay.
No, exit out. So we'll close here. Go to the live meeting you just created. Okay, click on that. Okay, now you want to go to edit. Bottom right hand. Right. No, you had it right there.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see because of the.
Okay.
Right.
Now you want to go to settings. Okay, scroll down. So now here's what's important. Okay, so right here it says, recording available, attendee engagement report. You click on the Q&A, but then in the middle of that, it actually will have, and this you have to turn on the back end, is languages. So you can select up to 6 initially. Okay, so 6 different languages can get into the meeting right away, and then you can translate it to 168 afterwards. Okay, so that's where you would update it, and then that's how people would go into the translator, be able to get that translator live. So then you'd go update. Okay. And then there's your live event. But let's click on the live event. I want to show something. So what's really important about the live event, you gotta be careful. There's an attendee link, and then there's a producer link, okay? So the attendee link is what you give everybody in your organization, and you tell them to join as an attendee. The join link on this is for producers and presenters only, okay? That's what you really want to have, because the idea of this of this program is to be able to bring in, certain speakers, right, around the globe. But you don't want to have everybody who's in your meeting inside of that. So that's you can be a little careful of that. So this is what what Andres has, and this is what the live event is going to do. It's really something else, and the recording is typically available, within about 5 minutes of the end of the meeting, and it's in high definition. It's really something else. For Tom, did that help you, or is there anything else you want us to talk about?
Hey, we had our first wow moment from Tom. Thanks, Tom. Wow, that live feature is great.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Holly says, during a meeting, everyone seems to try and talk at once. How do we stop that from happening? Wow, Holly, I wish I knew the answer to that.
You can mute everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, you can mute them from area.
Yeah, so the organizer can mute everyone. There's an option for mute everyone, and then you can call on people specifically, or you can direct them inside of the chat to say, hey, if you have a question, use the emojis to raise your hand, and I will get to you. But yeah, that is something else. So how would you unmute one person? So you would literally, let's see if I can show you. Let me share my screen.
So right here. So you can actually look, I'm sharing the screen here. So.
Oh, perfect.
You have to press on this bar right here. In a live event, for example. If it's another meeting, you just have to look where it says the microphone app, little piece. Now I'm back. Does that make sense?
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Can you do it in a regular event versus a live meeting? Yes, same thing. It works. It works just the same. You can mute people, and you can mute everybody, and do that. So the regular meeting, just the way to look at it is everybody gets to attend, right? Everybody's there. Everyone's talking. In a live meeting, the only people you're caring about muting would be the presenters, okay? Because the rest of the folks can't talk to you. Yeah. So let me get into, let's see, I want to share, let's see, cancel. Let me go ahead and share, whoops, why is this? Okay, let me go ahead and, let's see, share screen 3. Okay, so you can see screen 3. I just want to kind of just go over a couple things. Why do we do this? I just want to reiterate, If you have a partner who sent you here, please ask your partner, say, thank your partner because we were able to help you out. We don't sell anything direct. So what we're doing is once again, just reiterate, try to help out the community to understand, the latest and greatest technologies that are out there. But if you are a partner, we can help you by creating, some of these events like this for your customers to provide them. Right now with the coronavirus, it's really, really important to understand, how to help them out. And if you're a customer, go to your partner. And if you want to actually train your whole organization, it's about $250 per person with a minimum of 5 seats. And that's actually we just did Teams today, but this one will actually be a whole experience through all the Microsoft products and can do that. So we don't sell direct. So, make sure that you can send me an email to crancer@crancer.us or talk to your partner that you talk to. We want to, if there's no more questions, we want to kind of end this with just saying thank you so very much for coming to this. And we really do hope that we were able to provide you some knowledge and some understanding of how to use Microsoft Teams. Good luck, be safe. And you do have my email because you have the invite. If you have any questions, please just send me an email. I'm happy to help out. This isn't a timeshare, presentation. This is really just designed to help you out. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us today. And we look forward to helping out. Next week, we're going to have another series of these out there. So thank you again. Really appreciate it. And with that being said, I want to say goodbye. And Andres, do you have any last thoughts?
I'm just happy I was able to share some information with everyone, and I hope that everyone continues to use hand sanitizer and to lay off of the TP a little bit because everyone's going a little crazy. But stay safe out there, everyone.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.